Hello everyone. In the previous video, we learned about the magnetic field lines through the current carrying straight rod or straight wire. Now, in this one, we are going to learn about the magnetic field of the current due to the current, not of the current, due to the current through a circular loop. Okay, and we'll try to understand how the right hand thumb rule helps us to really clarify or verify or prove that yes, the direction of the magnetic field line which are being formed through the activity which we'll be understanding is true by applying the right hand thumb rule. So let's go and see what happens in the activity. Okay, so first we learn how to make the loop. Here the person has taken two half cylindrical wooden pieces. He is placing it in such a way that it can hold on and the wire can be wound around it. Okay, the copper wire is being inserted through the holes and it is wound around it to form a loop. And then the wooden pieces to be removed. It will be removed so that you get the loop. So you can see the loop, right? The circular loop. So the person will remove the the wooden piece so that you get a circular loop, a perfect circular loop, and it looks like this. Okay. Now the and two ends of the copper wire will be connected with the positive terminal and the negative terminal. Clear? Now we have sprinkled the iron fillings onto the top of the copper loop on the glass plate, and the current connection is being done. Okay, so what happens is the loop the current will pass through the loop, and we have to very minutely watch the change in the pattern that will form in the ionic filling, and it's going to be a very slow process. Okay, so if you carefully observe, you can see the iron fillings forming the pattern. Yes. So if you see the pattern in the center of the loop, it's more like a parallel line, but around this circular part, it's a circular loop, and here also it's a circular, right? So you can see concentric circle moving in this section, and there is a concentric circle moving in this section. But through the center of the loop, it's more of a parallel line, right? This is how the magnetic field will be formed around the circular loop. This is what we saw in the experiment, right? The iron fillings gave a pattern of parallel lines passing through the loops, but circular loop around the two endpoints. So as you can see here, the person is using the picture shows the right hand. You can do it along with me as I explain it. You hold your right hand, okay, next to the screen, and try to point out the fingers and try to wrap around. Okay, you can hold a pen to clearly get an understanding. The thumb should be pointing towards the direction of the current. So when you hold the pen in such a direction, such a way, the first is when it's pointing straight. So you can see the current is moving towards the right side, and the fingers are moving upwards. Then you shift to the next figure, that is this one. Okay, now hold on your pen and the thumb in that direction. So what happens? The current is moving outward, that is towards the screen. Okay, and the fingers are again moving upward. Now let's look at the third figure. So what it is, the right hand should be opposite facing you. So the thumb is moving towards the left hand direction. Still the fingers are moving upward, right? So what is this telling us? In the circular loop, the current is moving in the anti-clockwise direction, and the magnetic field is moving upward down. It's going up and then down, up and then down. So right hand thumb rule helps us to understand the direction of the magnetic field due to electric current. Okay, so the magnetic field produced by a current carrying straight wire depends inversely on the distance from it. Similar, inversely means it is not, it is opposite. The more closer, it's more larger the magnetic field, the more far away it is, less the magnetic field. So that is inverse relationship. So at every point of a current carrying circular loop, the concentric circles represent the magnetic field, and it would become larger and larger as we move away from the wire. So in the straight current carrying straight rod also, we saw that as we were moving away from the rod, the concentric circle size became bigger and bigger. So as the distance kept increasing, the effect of the magnetic field also was more smaller and smaller. That's why the circles were larger. So more closer, more current flowing, more number of magnetic fields are closer to each other. Less current when you're moving away, so the gap between the concentric circles or the magnetic field is more larger. So that is why it's called as inversely proportional or inversely related. So this is what we saw in the experiment. Remember, before we started the current passing through the coil, the sprinkled iron filling powder was looking like this, and once you connected it, you can see the magnetic field lines. So magnetic field lines produced by a current carrying wire at a given point depends directly on what the current which is being passed through it. I'm sorry for the spelling mistake, BH and S. Okay. Thus, if there is a circular coil, and if it's having n number of number of turns means, let's say if the person, when he was making the loop, he has turned it like 50 times, so there are 50 turns from each thin wire of the copper wire. There would be, suppose if I say there was, for example, there were 1 ampere current passing through each wire, so there are 50 turns. So one turn is carrying 1 ampere current. That means 50 turns will be 50 ampere, which is a very large amount, right? So suppose in this case it's 0.02 ampere from one turn, right? So 50 turns means 50 times 0.02. So that much amount of current is flowing through the loop, and therefore the magnetic field lines are very closely packed because of the large amount of current. Okay, so that's what they're saying. If there is a circular coil having n number of turns, the field produced is n times as large as that of produced by a single turn. This is because the current in each circular turn has the same direction and field. Due to each turn, they add up. Correct? Because the current flowing from each turn of the wire is going to be in the same direction. Therefore, they will add up. They will not cancel up. Now, this was a circular loop. I'll be showing in the next activity in which we will have continuation of the loops connected, interconnected, and there is a rectangular loop. And let's see what the magnetic field lines look like. As you can see here, the 3 different loops. This one we already saw, okay, wherein between the 2 glass plate, the copper wire was being circled. This is a rectangular shaped looping which is being done. And as you can see in this picture, there are 5 different sections of loop which are interconnected. Now, what this person has done is, in this experiment, he has taken 15 loops in each case, means 15 wires coiled together. 15 turns of coil together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? So we'll watch first of all what happens in this one, then in this, and then in this one. Okay. And we'll see the pattern that is formed. Okay. Now, as you can see here, the rectangular coil, the connection is being connected. Here, the two red one is connected to the negative terminal and the green one is connected to the positive terminal. So let's place the, let's see what happens when the current is passed through it. So you can see that you'll see the current is flowing, and you'll see tiny circles. It takes time to form the magnetic field lines. Okay. Can you see the circles forming? Yes. So it's more or less like a circular pattern, the same that we get in a straight current carrying rod. So similarly, this rectangular loop is giving a current carrying straight rod like picture. Okay, so therefore the circular loop. Let's look into the next. So this is how it looks. It's a more straight rod and it looks like this. So let's look into the next one. Okay. So this loop we already seen it, but again let's see when the current passes through it, what happens. Can you see the formation of the magnetic field lines, more circular here and parallel in between, right? Let's look into the next loop. So this is the next loop where we have the number of turns interconnected. Each circular loop is having 15 turns. Each loop is interconnected. So let's look when the current passes through it, what is the pattern it forms. If you minutely observe it, it's more like a circular one here and parallel in between. It's going to be very slow, and the pattern is going to take time to take its real parallel lines. Can you see? Gradually it is coming up. You can see tiny circular parts here. Yeah, and some parallel lines. If you pay very close attention, you can see it, right? Correct? So we saw that how does the loop, around the loop, the magnetic field lines form with 2 different examples. Now we are going to talk about magnetic field due to a solenoid. What is a solenoid? Solenoid is when you take a coil and wind or wound around a particular cylindrical wooden piece, and you have some gappings between it. These each turns together, the whole piece is called as a solenoid. So solenoid is what? A coil which has many circular turns. Okay, insulated copper wire. It is made of a copper wire which is insulated, and it's wrapped closely in the shape of a cylinder is called as a solenoid. The pattern of the magnetic field lines around such current carrying solenoid is coiled as shown in the figure, as we can see here. Now the pattern of the field is similar to that of the magnetic field around the bar magnet. Let's look into an activity very quickly and let's see is it true or not. So this is how we wound the wire around the wooden piece to make a solenoid. They are around 20 to 25 turns of the coil, right? So this is called as the solenoid. So now we'll sprinkle the what we say iron dust and iron powder, and let's see what happens with the magnetic field lines. So as you can see here, the rod is being removed, the wooden rod is being removed. So this is how it looks after removal, and one end is being connected to the positive terminal and the other end is to be connected with the negative terminal. So let's sprinkle the iron fillings and let's see what happens. So once the iron fillings have been sprinkled, they are going to connect the negative and the positive terminals, and let's see the pattern. It should be more like a bar magnet. That is, in between the coils, it should be parallel straight lines, and it should go from north to south. The circles will be moving away. So let's see what is the pattern which is formed here. It takes time again. It's not a quick tap. Can you see the pattern forming? It has to be tapped. So that's when we get the pattern. Correct? Can you see the lines going parallel inside the coils, inside the number of turns and circular? Right? So what happens on one end of the solenoid behaves like a magnetic north pole and the other end behaves like a south pole. So the field lines inside the solenoid form a parallel straight line, which we saw, right? It indicates that the magnetic field is same at all points inside the solenoid. Therefore, there is a uniform field which is formed. So the magnetic effect is uniform because of the current flowing through the solenoid through each turn. As you can see here, through each turn, each turn is getting the same amount of current passing through it. So each turn is going to give out the same amount of magnetic field effect. So the lines are parallel when it is passing through in between the turns. Okay, this a strong magnet. If you can see the picture here, there is a bluish piece of rod, which is a soft piece which is being inserted between the solenoid. So if this solenoid is connected to an electric circuit and if the current is passed, the current will be passing through these turns of the copper wire, not through this blue part. Okay, but still when you remove the blue part from the circuit, it will act like a as a magnet, the same way as when you rub the balloon with a soft wool cloth and then you bring it to a piece of bits of paper, the paper will stick because of electrostatic force. The same rule here, but in this case the magnetic effect of the current is being transferred to the soft piece of this material, which is called as a soft iron. And the soft iron, after switching off the current, when you remove this soft iron piece, the iron piece will start behaving like a magnet. Okay, it's a temporary magnet because after the effect of that electric current which passed through it and the effect of the magnetic effect fades away, the soft iron will not behave like a magnet. So that's what the last section says. A strong magnetic field produced inside the solenoid can be used to magnetize a piece of magnetic material like soft iron. The magnet so formed is called as electromagnet. Now here the material, the blue material which is used is a material which has the magnetic property with it, not any other material. If you put a wood or any other soft non-metals or any material which is not going to get magnetized, then there is no use. You will not have it. So you need to have a material which is having the property of magnetism, and when you put it inside and when the current is passing through the solenoid and remove it, the material will behave like a magnet. Such a material which is being temporarily made to behave like a magnet is called as electromagnet. And when did it start behaving like a magnet? When current was allowed to pass near it. Okay, hope this was clear. Thank you.